Daniel-san. Karate do. Karate don't. Stand in the middle of the road. Squash like Curt. What movie? All right, Karate Kid, awesome. I couldn't have Corey or Aiden have all the fun tonight. So, also, I just got back from a memorial service for Sensei Fumio Demura, who is actually the real Karate Kid, Miyagi, actually the real Miyagi. So I was he passed about a week or two ago. But anyway, I just got back from his memorial this morning, but of course I have to make it here tonight. So without further ado, I got my notes here. I think it's important to remember that this film is this festival is about film as art. And it's, I think, imperative to understand that filmmaking is highly personal. So these two films, the first one by Alexa and the other one by Drake, you can tell they're very personal films. And in a way, they're a singular voice for both of the films, right? There wasn't much crew, there wasn't much collaboration other than, I think, the immediate team. This year, however, it's a little different. There was a lot of collaboration I saw, and there was a lot of really, really great filmmaking. I was just talking to Ms. Stanton off the corner there, and I said this year is the festival is evolving to the point where it is actually a film festival, that we're seeing more and more filmmakers collaborating more and more with their teams. So my criteria tonight, as far as picking the best of the fest, because Alexa's film and also Drake's were the first and the second films of the best of the show. This will be the third, since it's the third year of the festival. So as I go through my list of the criteria, some of you probably will start feeling, our film might be it. And then others might think, well, we didn't really have that department represented in our film, so maybe we're not in the running. Just to let you know, this is just my criteria, and every film festival or award competition we've ever been in, either with myself or our fellow filmmakers, it's always about being in the game. It's not actually who wins the game. So all of you are in the game. You're all really filmmakers, and for that, let's give everybody a hand of applause for everybody. We're part of the tribe of filmmakers. So this film, I thought had really, really good production design / art direction. And for the novice person looking at it, they may say, well, what's the art direction? What's the production design? Well, simply said, the production design and the art direction is setting the place, setting the atmosphere, setting the setting. And you don't really have to do much if the setting is already there. A lot of times as filmmakers, we have to get out of our own way. We have an idea of how we want to shoot a film, how we want to act or perform, how we want to edit a film. But as you go through the filmmaking process, and all of you now know, because we're all the same, we're filmmakers, from the start of the idea to the final screening, it evolves. And as you go through the process, the one takeaway that if you leave here tonight as a filmmaker, I'll leave you this. The film is always telling us what it wants to be as we make it. And then we as filmmakers spend the rest of the time trying to make it fit into what we want it to be. You're never going to get a great film if you follow what you want it to be. Because what you want it to be is not what the film's about. The film's about the collaboration, of working with other people, of having other collaborators, not workers, not actors, not editors, collaborators. Along the process, the film will tell us what it wants to be, and we have to be smart enough to allow it and to recognize that the magic is happening. We just set the stage for the magic. The actors, the performance, the lighting, all that is the magic, not us. So the production design of this particular and the art direction of this particular film was outstanding. In fact, all the categories are outstanding. The wardrobe and hand props meaning wristbands, necklaces, purses, backpacks, all that stuff we call hand props. great. It fit the character. Awesome. Sound design, incredible. Actually, this film did not need any music. If you notice, it had no music. It just had sound design. Sound design is just as important as music, and silence is even more important, and this film had tons of that. So the contrast is what that means. The contrast of, it's not an onslaught of sound in order to hide or to create an actual emotion. The film actually creates the emotion without having to put a soundtrack on it. So don't get trapped in the idea of always having to put music or score music. That's not what it's about. It's about expressing that human condition and having the craft and the experience of knowing when to use music and when not to. So the sound design was absolutely outstanding in this one. Now the editing. Again, the editing is the last stage, some would say, of writing a film. So you write the film at the beginning, right, with the script. You're kind of writing as you go during production. But in the editing room, that's kind of really where the story is found. And to be the truth known, that's the final writing step, at least for me, as far as getting it down, quote unquote, on page, is actually doing the editing process. And there it is very obvious for anybody who's had gone through editing, which is a love-hate relationship with me. It's like something I love, but something I hate. Editing is it's a hard thing sometimes, because it's so personal, because you have to get rid of shots that not work that you may be in love with, but it doesn't move the story forward. So the editing on this was spectacular. The cinematography was appropriate, very, very strong. Me, as a cinematographer, looked at it and go, whoever shot this, and I don't know who shot it, whoever lit it, I don't know who lit it, has a lot of talent. So whoever you are out there who did it, it's coming from me. I really appreciate what you did. You did not overlight it. As we say, it looked like you didn't even take a light off of the truck. And to me, that's great lighting. When you could recognize that, hey, it's lit, it fits the story. We don't have to use the aperture light. We don't have to use a red camera. We don't have to use a Zeiss lens. None of that matters. It really doesn't, just as you don't have to go to USC or Chapman or any of that BS, quite honestly. You have to live a life and be able to tell it. And how you tell it is going through the process all of you have done, which is collaborate and make films. So this brings me to the acting. This person who acted, I don't know who you are, I would cast you in a minute in any one of my films, if, again, you are appropriate for the role. As far as the performance, spot on, absolutely incredible. And which brings me to the direction. A lot of times people come up to me and ask, well, what does a director really do? And as a director myself, and having worked with some really, really strong directors, the director is the captain of the ship. He's not the ship, she's not the ship. But what happens is, and he or she is not even steering the ship, but what the director does is make all the decisions and all the calls and know where the final port of call is. And then with their crew, with their collaborators, the director knows pretty much every department, the ones that I really find very strong directors. They have the ability to let go, not have to micromanage. They have the ability to collaborate. Because every individual on the crew, I don't care if they're doing craft service or PA, or if they're the director or the DP, or if they're just an assistant changing lenses, every one of those individuals have a contribution to the end result that you see here. It could be a negative contribution, and I think we've all been on sets where we have somebody who's not really great for the morale, right? That's good. Maybe they should be selling insurance than making movies, because we need to understand that filmmaking is what? A highly personal endeavor. It also pays pretty good if you get to a certain level, but that shouldn't drive you. What should drive you is being able to tell stories and to move people. And that's what a director overall does. Which brings me back to the last thing, is the producer. The producer has to make sure the train gets out of the station on time, and then all the people on the train are happy, and it doesn't crash along the way, and it gets to its final destination. And the producer actually also has to know to put the crews together. Who is going to fit? So whoever, well, I know who produced it because I see it here. So given all of that in a long-winded way, I think the best of show this year is Trapped by Hunani Hirji. I thought, so if you want to bring her up. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Before I forget, Ms. Stanton said to make sure you have, this is the appreciation for, and your crew.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and your crew. Please say a few words.
Wow, I'm so shocked right now. It was a huge endeavor taking on Trapped. It was something I wrote like last June. I spent like a lot of time working on it, editing, sound design, and I'm so appreciative of all the people that helped me get it there. My entire crew, we filmed the piece in about 2 days, and it was a lot of rush, but all together, everyone helped me put this piece together, and I'm so, so appreciative of them. Thank you so much.